Hey guys, it's Erin here from Yoga Strong, and today I want to talk to you about balance. Trying to find balance is something that we all struggle with in our everyday life. And the nice thing about yoga is it gives you the chance to find balance physically in your body, and once you're feeling that, you can try to start to bring balance to other areas. So I'm going to give you a few tips today to help you improve your balance. And Balance is my favorite part of yoga. I love it so much because you really have to be in the present moment. You can't be thinking about what you're going to get from the grocery store later. You have to be thinking about what you're doing, and you really have to listen to your body. So balancing really helps you to look inward and to start to listen to yourself. One thing, the biggest tip I can give you is to find a focal point. So you're going to find one area wherever you should be gazing, whether your gaze is up or down, your instructor will tell you. You're going to find one place to look at, and you're just going to focus all of your energy and all your attention in that one spot. And that's going to help block out everything else so that you can pay attention to your body a little bit better, and that will help you to go into your balance a little easier. Next thing is starting with a good base. So whether both feet are on the ground or you're going to have one standing leg and one leg that's lifted, you need to make good contact and make sure you're starting off balanced on that foot. So if we were going to have our right foot as our standing leg, I want to make sure that all four corners of my right foot are making good contact and that I feel good in that starting position before I move into anything else. Without a good base and without a good focus, it's going to be really hard to balance. So let's talk about open hip versus closed hip. When our hips are open, they're not stacked on top of each other. Your hip bones are facing forward. Your thighs are neutral. So that would be just like bringing up your leg. This would be a closed hip. So what we're going to do here is we're going to shift the weight into our right foot. Make sure right behind our big toe, behind our pinky toe, both sides of our heel, all of our foot is making good contact on the mat so that our left foot is free to move. Then we're going to pull in this right hip, and when we activate that right hip and we pull it in, your left leg is naturally going to start to lift. So without you having to really put a lot of effort into it, you're already releasing that left leg from the ground. From there, let's put our hands on our hips, make sure we have a good base. Our gaze is forward, so finding one spot to look right in front of you. We'll inhale and we'll just start to lift our knee up. The height is not as important as you feeling good and strong in the standing position. And we're just going to hold this here. You can have your toes pointed or flexed. Just keeping your hips facing forward, keeping your focus on your focal point, remembering to breathe, and then exhale. We'll let that foot come down. Let's switch to our standing foot being our left foot, and this time we're going to have our right foot be free to move. So making good contact with your left foot, all the corners of your foot making contact with the ground. Our gaze is still right in front of us, so you'll find that focal point. Start to pull in that hip, strengthening all the muscles in this left leg, activating all those muscles, and then your right leg is free to move. Now this time, instead of a closed hip, so our hip bones facing forward, we're going to open our hip. So now you've got this right hip bone is facing out away from you. So we're going to start to inhale and lift up this right leg. You can have it land on your shin, your ankle. You could pull it all the way up if you want, but we're going to stay low. And we're just going to try to find our balance here. One thing I want you to watch out for is if you're opening up your right hip, you don't want to pull your left hip with it. So we're not pulling everything over. You want this left hip to still stay square as this right one is turning out. So don't compromise the left side to open up the right side. Your hands can stay on your hips here, making good contact with your left foot. Lengthening up through your spine, just finding some stability, breathing in and out. And then we'll exhale and let that foot come down. So there's just an easy balancing practice for you. 1 with our closed hip, 2 with our open hip, and then finding our focal point, remembering to breathe, and just being in the present moment. Thank you for joining me in this little short balance activity today.